Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. My name is Michaela Carpenter. I'm a nutrition and life coach, and I specialize in helping people overcome restrictive dieting and emotional eating through healing their relationship with food. Today's video, I wanted to go through 6 free exercises you can do right now to improve the way you feel. So some days we can wake up just feeling a bit groggy, or just not feeling 100% motivated or ready to tackle the day. We kind of just want to stay in bed and not do a lot. Just know that days like this are totally normal. Some days are going to feel like that. That's part of being a human. But sometimes, a lot of the time, we do want to come out of that space and be able to just get on with our day and do the things that we really want to do. So I really just wanted to compile six free things that you can do right now, which will, and more often than not, will improve your mood and how you're feeling in that day or in that moment. So yeah, keep watching if that's something you are interested in learning more about. So the first tip I have, or free exercise I have for you today, is to write down what is going on in your head. So oftentimes we can really stay stuck in our heads and not realize exactly what in particular is making us feel a certain way, but oftentimes, more than not, it's something coming from our heads, so something from our thoughts or the way we're thinking or feeling about certain things. So when we're able to write these things down, and just first off, it really gets it out of our head, and it makes us feel a little bit less maybe overwhelmed by all the stuff that's going on in our head, because we're taking it out and really just putting it on a piece of paper so that we can just kind of relax for a second and just see the things that are really bothering us. And from here, we're able to understand a bit more about why we may be feeling a certain way, why we may be feeling kind of average that day. It could be things coming up that we didn't even realize were coming up in our head. So really, basically just free writing and just allowing ourselves that space and opportunity to just scribble things down, write things down, and see what's going on, see why we are not feeling our best. And this in itself can really just alleviate some of the feelings that we may be having, but it also can give ourselves an opportunity to really just see the things that are coming up, and possibly even naturally find ourselves starting to problem solve or work through those things a little bit just by writing them down. Can be really helpful. Tip number 2 I have is to write down 5 things that you are grateful for or you're looking forward to. So, I mean, most people in our lives, we don't really sit and appreciate or really take the time to write down the things we really appreciate about our life. We can see them in our day-to-day life. We can appreciate them sometimes, but we don't always allow ourselves that space to really think about it and appreciate them fully. So I think it's really empowering and powerful when we sit down and just write a list of the things we are grateful for, especially when we're feeling kind of average. It can just switch the sort of thoughts we're thinking and the way we're seeing maybe a day or the way things are in those moments. So when we do get ourselves to sit down and just write those things down, it can be really helpful to shift the way we're looking at things. And oftentimes, more than not, we are finding when we are feeling kind of average, we are looking at things in a more negative light than a positive light. So taking ourselves towards a more positive light can be really helpful to come out of that really average feeling and start to become a bit more positive and ready to start the day or to do the things we want to do during the day. So that is tip number 2. I wanted to mention as well, I know a lot of these things may seem like the things we kind of hear, I think, and it's a sort of pretty classic stuff that we do here, but I think it's really important to realize that they are actually really helpful. Like, oftentimes if we're just reading a list or whatever of things we could be doing to boost our mood or whatever, it can be like, oh, okay, that again, like, you know. But when we actually sit and think about it and really do take the time to do these things and do them properly, not just for the sake of ticking them off of a list and just forcing ourselves to do it because it might make us feel better, really looking at it as an opportunity to really grow and see how these things can really help us is really important. So with that being said, the third free exercise I recommend is going outside for at least 5 minutes. So when we do this, it's important to make sure we are really present outside, so we're not just walking outside for 5 minutes and just standing there or whatever we're doing and not really taking that time to really be present and enjoy it. It's important to make sure we are doing that. So really noticing the different senses, so really noticing the smell, the sounds that we can hear, and just even touching some grass, touching some trees, just anything, just really grounding ourselves and reminding ourselves that this is an amazing place that we're here, and like, yeah, it's just a nice thing to really boost our mood and help us get a fresh perspective on the way we may be feeling or thinking about certain things. And studies have shown that serotonin levels are higher, which is the feel-good hormone, on sunny, bright days. So it's important just really making sure that we are being intentional about going outside and really just being at one with nature for a little bit, because that is really an important thing to do. So that is exercise number 3. So exercise number 4 I have is to speak to someone. So similar to writing on a piece of paper, is we are really getting the things out of our head. But the additional bonuses of talking to a person is that we obviously can feel connected and feel less alone in our struggles, and realize that we're not the only ones that deal with these days and have those moments. So it can be really helpful, and obviously we can get different perspectives and even advice, or just feel comforted. And I think that's really, really helpful, and it's definitely a good one if you are not feeling great, because we can just realize that we're not alone and everyone has these struggles, and that in itself can help us feel better. So the 5th free exercise I have, which may not be free necessarily, but do something that you enjoy doing. So that could be watching your favorite TV show, doing a puzzle, reading a book, whatever it is that you really enjoy doing, something that is for you and you really are just taking the time to basically spend time with yourself and do it for yourself to help yourself feel better. So that is basic. There's not really much else to it, like just giving yourself that space and opportunity to take care of yourself, how you're feeling, and by doing the things you love doing. So that is exercise number 5. The 6th free exercise that I have for you today is to listen to uplifting music. So as much as in those moments where you're feeling a certain way, we often tend to reach towards or turn on music that kind of is at the vibe that we're at, so the way we're feeling. So if we're not feeling great, we're going to turn on music that kind of matches that. And this doesn't really get us out of that mindset and the way we're feeling. It kind of just keeps us there. So it's important to make sure it is uplifting music that usually would make you feel good, because music can really change the way we do feel when we are able to just obviously get into it and enjoy it. So another thing is with that is even just having a wee dance, having some fun with it. And this can also further release feel good hormones, which obviously are going to help us feel more uplifted and ready to tackle the day or work through whatever it is that we're wanting to work through, and to stop feeling so average in those moments. So that is number 6, not number 5. And another thing to note is that music is processed in the same part of our brain, so that amygdala, that our emotions are processed in. So it's pretty clear to see why music can be really powerful, and if we're listening to uplifting music, how it can really help improve our mood. So it's really important to think of that, especially when if we find ourselves going for the music that's just feeding into the way we are feeling already. So if we're wanting to try and improve the way we're feeling, we're wanting to go towards the more uplifting music, the more upbeat music that's going to make us want to dance and feel good in that. So that is all the 6 free exercises I have for you for today that you can do right now and which will help improve your mood. Let me know if any of them sound like something you would really enjoy doing, something that sounds really helpful for you. Let me know in the comments which one you feel like you'll try out next time you're having a day where you want to feel good but you aren't feeling your best. Let me know in the comments below. So that is obviously all for today's video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I post videos every week, so I will catch you guys next week.